Hello and welcome to Knights of the Blackwater. I am Ben, and today we have the top 8 game from the Aldershot Regional. On the left we have Callum playing Bara Fealty against James Parsons on the right playing Tyrell Reigns of Castamere. I have to apologise, for some reason the audio has not recorded on this video, so I can't hear anything the players are saying, so hopefully that should be okay. Well, we're on to setups, and my god, that's a 6-card setup there on the left. So we've got Dragonstone Port, the Drumstone, the Red Keep, and Spears the Merlin King, with a Dragonstone Faithful and Fiery Followers. And on the right we have a Rose Garden, a Rattleshirt's Raiders, an Arbor Knight, and an Old Town Informant. So pretty good starts from both players. I'd say probably the Baratheon one's better because you've got a lot of your key pieces. You're just missing the table and chair. And let's see what plots these guys decide to open up with. I think James is just double checking what the what Stone Drum does, which is when there is a I think it's Kingdom plot. It might be Edict as well, but I'm pretty sure it's at least Kingdom plot revealed to raise the gold on your plot by 1. So we have building orders into a late summer feast. Interesting opening there from James. He opened this in the last game that we saw. Went for the Arbor. I wonder what's the plan for this one. That seems a bit of a tempo hit to start with, only getting 4 gold. And yes, you can reduce it by 1. And indeed, he has gone for the Arbor. But that does seem a little bit of a tempo hit. And the thing is, with these Baratheon decks, once they're set up and you've got the full Dom package on, it's hard to break. And you kind of need to try and, I think, try and get the aggression on early to try and put pressure on early. So this could be, I could be wrong on that. That's just my opinion. But I think this could put James a bit behind. So Callum collecting his gold. Got 10 gold there, so it must be... Yep, that is a Kingdom plot. Neil's Fealty and the Dragonstone Port for Tubbott's Armory. So when everyone's Dom, he gets to draw a card. He's got the chair in hand as well. The Iron Throne in hand. So most of the IKEA package is there. And he's got a Great Hall. Neil's the Great Hall. That's a lot of gold spent. And we've got Sebastian Sell Me. And the Dragonstone Faithful. Neil's bring out another Dragonstone Faithful. And it looks like he's going to... Oh, no. Hasn't finished just yet. Needing that to bring... No. The one thing here to worry about for Callum is we know that James is running Political Disaster. And right now that would be wrecking this board state. He rapidly sees some dupes on some of these locations. And I think he's passed on 2 gold. It does certainly look that way. So on to James. He's got 4 gold plus the reducing. Oh, he's not going to put the Arbor out. That's interesting. Obviously, must be probably then going to play Trading next turn and put it out. So he's going to kneel. It's got a 4 gold character. He's tried playing a second limited this turn. So that was his plan. Yep, unfortunately, James, that's what we call cheating. So the Arbor does come out, and James has 1 gold left. And 1 gold for a Garden Caretaker. Who's knelt to bring out another Garden Caretaker. You're pretty safe to assume that Baratheon, especially this type of Baratheon, probably isn't running Valor because they value their big characters far too much. If this is the traditional big guys build, we've got 3 of each of the 7 costers. So you can imagine they probably won't be too eager to Valor their board state once they've got those guys out. we've got a pleasure barge. Now, interesting, so he's played a pleasure guard after a barge after he has no gold. To me, that seems I'd probably be playing that out next turn, because I don't think Callum can afford to put much pressure onto James this turn. He wants to draw, so kind of got to leave some intrigue. He's got to leave some power icon standing. So that seems. How many cards do you play out? 1, 2, 3, 4 cards played out. So he's going to be discarding for reserve now. So I'm not sure I agree with that play. I think that should be played next turn. Probably when you played like trading, and just drawing into as many cards as possible and just try to play them all out, get as strong as board state as possible. So we have, I'm going to try and guess the challenge type. So it's a military or power challenge, we know that much. It must be military because the Arbor Knight is defending. Okay, so James gets to draw another card. So that's the other reason. Again, it's late summer feast. You're going to lose some challenges. That's more cards to have to discard now. We have an intrigue coming in from the Fire Followers, which you're going to lose. I'm going to draw another card and then discard a card at random. That's a big fistful of cards there. And that's that Rose Garden that James tried playing at earlier. Now I'm assuming here that Callum's going to hold off the power challenge because he was going to want the draw from the red keep, so he can't afford to lose a power challenge. Currently, James can only get to 1 in a power challenge. And they passed challenges by the looks of it. James didn't do any challenges. It's interesting. Dom goes to Callum. He gets 3 cards there. Got a deeper sell me, so he's going to start scoring that board state. Now, of course, this deck, it's been doing fairly well recently. Callum obviously got to the cut here. He was at UK Nationals at the weekend as well. Made the top 16. Got unlucky, unfortunately, in his top 16 matchup. But obviously, once Valor Harris is out, this is a deck that's going to have to really rethink what it's doing, because you can't run all the 7 costers then, because they're just going to get discarded. You've got no way of saving from it. So there's going to be some form of there's got to be some rethink here for Baratheon. And you see how many cards has James got? And just to give you a heads up, guys, this is pre-flea bottom, so it's not like you can jump those guys in later. Even Callum had to discard some cards. That's interesting. I've got reserve as 6 because of the Iron Throne. Obviously, he's also got Bob in hand, so he could be able to get 2 of the big boys out soon. So we have Political Disaster into Late Summer Feast. Into Time of Plenty. So as I did say, obviously that is a potentially brutal card at this point. He's taking the red keep. Oh no, is he keeping the red keep? Okay. I pass. He can't lose the red keep. That'd be madness. So keeping the red keep in the Iron Throne. Made his mind pretty quickly on that one. I guess it helped he had 2 little reducers out on the board, so he can has some form of econ. So I'll say again, a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. I have updated the front page now, so it has all 7 of their names on, as I've had time to edit videos since the Patreon started properly. And yeah, it's very much appreciated. It's going to help me upgrade my cameras, because one of my cameras haven't been working recently, and I need to improve the quality of those, unfortunately. So everything helps appreciate. Just getting as good quality videos here as possible, and my GoPro broke at Bristol, unfortunately, and now my backup cameras aren't working properly, which is a shame. So we had a great haul played out, which was Knelt, both reducers and Fealty Knelt, to bring up Bob for 2 gold. We can see an ours is the Fury in hand, and say Selmy was duped. So no, he's going to spend the free gold on a duped Crescent. So pretty good board state there from Calvin. The Intimidate's going to come in handy. I'm surprised he didn't keep hold of that gold for ours of the Fury. I guess he might be worried about a milk or something coming. So 1 gold spent on a Great Hall. We have the reducing note. So looks like we've got a fairly big character coming out. Yep, looks like Renly. Oh, Queen of Thorns. With a lady in waiting as a dupe. So I think probably here that's gonna have to be the number 1 Intimidate target. Bob's currently at 8 strength. If the Ratchet's ready to defend the military, that's 9 strength. So he could quite easily kneel her unless James plays a preemptive ours is not a preemptive what's that card called? Growing Strong. And Bob and Selmy are going in, so kind of not messing around here. So that is 9, currently coming in for 15. We're having a Nightmares played on Bob. Even Callum had a hand's judgment, he couldn't stop it. So Radishot's raids come into block. 1 renowned on Sir Barris and Selmy. And it looks like James is going to get a range trigger this turn. And now I think that's where that discarding that gold, potentially getting the R's as the Fury, would have been the better choice here. Oh, there's also a Lord Renly's Ride in hand and 1 more gold, so this looks like range is going off this turn. Now what would you choose here? Wildfire. You're just getting rid of some chuds. You're not really getting rid of much, and we again know James isn't running Marched. I don't know if Callum knows that. So we've got a big entry coming in for 7. It's going to be blocks for 2. So Reigns is going to trigger. He is going to play a Lord Renly's Ride as well on the Queen of Thorns. So that is +1 strength. Didn't need this for the range trigger. I'm just assuming this is a to intimidate Crescent so that so he can play power behind the throne, stand up and do an unopposed power challenge. I'm assuming that's the situation here. And indeed, that is power behind the throne. Queen of Thorns reaction first, so we're going to have a character brought in. James is having to double check what that did. Now, what could have been a better play here is actually 2 wildfire and then bring in the character, because it's all in the same reaction step. You choose the order, you do the reactions. So you could have wildfired and then brought in Randall, who could have done a military afterwards, knelt Crescent, and then done the power challenge. And that might have actually been better. Because then you're reducing the board state as well. So the board, he's down to 3 characters, which obviously 2 of them would have dupes. Actually no, because you could say no. Wait, now I think about it. No, because Sebastian could save to save Bob, couldn't he? Now I think about it. So you want to do the power first and then do the military. You're losing Dom anyway, so you don't lose anything out of doing that. So the power challenge goes for unopposed. With Renowned. Stan Randall. Callum reminding himself that the Red Keeper's can't be triggered this turn. He's not doing the military. I find that bizarre. He's going to win dominance anyway, so why not go in and do the military? Interesting. Unless I missed something there, guys. I don't think I did. But we're sitting at 3-3, so a good tight game to start with. Cam's got 2 cards in hand. He's got to feel pretty safe he's not going to get Valid here, because that would absolutely wreck James' own board state for very little benefit. So we have Feast for Crows into Trading with the Pentoshi. So James going for all the big shots. Callum is the first player. Collects his 3 gold from trading. Draws another 2. What's he got? So we know he's got the Arms of the Fury in hand. That card should be critical this turn. He's got another 6 gold to collect because the the drumstone's been discarded because of political disaster. And we have the chair out. We have a deep for the red keep. So worth playing that out this time because obviously at some point next turn, that is going to be a card that will. So if you go around again, that's potentially another problem with the plot. So once you get to plot 8, political disaster could be a thing. So getting a dupe on the red keep now is probably a very good choice. So Callum sitting there. So we know that 1 card in hand. It is Arms of the Fury, which could put a base key infinite strength Bob into a challenge, which would not be a horrendous idea. Okay, so we've got a bodyguard put on. So I missed a bodyguard on Heartsbane, I believe, put on Renly. There's a Great Hall of Renly's Pavilion played out. Still a lot of gold to spend. So Neil's the Great Hall. That looks like a Renly Mountain Money. Could be wrong. Nope, there is Renly. Now you got to be careful here. So be interested if he tries to put any protection on him because currently there's another king on the board. So Renly is can't save basically. He's got a bit of weakness there. Is he going to play anything like last 4 gold? Now we know Callum's got to be running Wildfire at this point. It is the standard reset of it is the standard reset. Sorry about that. You that triggers that. Sorry, standard reset of the Baratheon. Sorry, so it's had some alarms going off. I do apologise for that. So we have Crescent. There are 2 reducers. The 2 Dragons So Faithfuls and Bob going to Power Challenge. Is that going to be enough? So Bob will currently be Strength 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 Power. And so Renly will run. That seems a little risky here because you need to protect that draw. I'd be more tempted not to defend. And I don't know. I guess he does want Bob knelt, doesn't he? So we can use him for an Hours of the Fury to defend against the Intrigue. Oh, I forgot about the reduce on the other side. So I think he's currently 16. Yeah, currently 16. Obviously, anyone who kneels will be adding to the strength, but there's also the Renly's Pavilion to mess around with the maths. So it's defending for 11. He must be about to put he must be putting Randall in as well. So that's defending for 16. So it's 16 v 16. No, because obviously the strength buff. Sorry, so that's 18 v 16. Renly's Pavilion makes it 17 against 17. I'm assuming here Randall's standing. Sorry, my maths. It's actually 19 v 16 currently. I am semi-surprised that Barristan didn't kneel on this as well. Go into this as well. So that is Heartsbane. So I believe that makes it 19 all. And then Renly's Pavilion puts him over the edge. Oh nope, sorry, the stand alone will put him over the edge, won't it? Sorry, because now it's 18 versus 19. Yes, and indeed. And the Red Keeper's knelt. Challenge maths gets bloomin' difficult when you've got Bob and Tyrell on the board and Tyrell stuff on the board. That was obviously a loyal card. But more importantly here, that's looks like now that James has given up the possibility of triggering Reigns. Now again, I'm not sure there's not that much you'd want to trigger at the moment, but there could be. He really needs to see new Marge, Tinder Marge, to make the most out of doing a wildfire. So both Fiery Followers going into an Intrigue challenge. So Intrigue for 4. James can fully defend this, but he had to check all his resources in, or most of his resources in at least. Spend 1 gold for a nightmare? No. For a which one is it? LCG to nail out the painted table. And we have another Aldershot Traders taken for claim. So we have an entry coming in currently for free. Unless there's a growing strong in hand, this could get up to a lot more, but Callum is not going to mess around. He's going to do an ours as the Fury. Put Bob into the challenge. Bob is currently strength 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. And that will be an easy win in a stand. I'm a bit confused. I think James seems to think he can win the challenge. But Bob's still going to be massively ahead of him. Should have left that running his video. Should have given up on that. Done the military with Randall and then potentially the military with Randall again. Obviously, Sir Barristan could stand as a reaction. I'm not sure that's the best idea. I'm passing challenges. So, once again, not trying to do the power challenge, which is interesting. But no draw, unfortunately, for Callum. But also no cards in hand. So we're on to the next plot phase. I think did he forget to trigger Feast for Crows? I think it might have. So we're currently sitting at £5 on the Tyrell side to £6 on the Baratheon side. I think he's forgotten Feast for Crows here. I could be wrong. So we have calling the banners into close call. So I think Callum's going to make James go first. Close call, I'm assuming he's just to draw a card. As no one of note has died yet. And yes, indeed, he just brings back a Garden Caretaker, draws a card, draws 2 more. So James has massive card advantage at this point. But kind of getting 7 gold there off calling the banners. And you can see here, the Tyrell matchup is quite difficult for Bara. Even with the lack of the sort of nil package, which isn't great because the main character on the Baratheon side, on the Tyrell side, is immune to is basically immune to nil effects because you just up his strength when he stands. Is this Tindermarge? It indeed is. We have Tindermarge on the board. I hope he has some way of protecting her. Sits on 2 gold. So we have a Great Hall, and I think that might be it. Callum hasn't actually taken his actual money. He's 3 gold short there. Just a reminder, if you haven't missed any other games from this regional, you can check them all out. They'll be on a playlist along with this video. Let's go back to the start. Obviously, I missed 1 round of Swiss because of I just forgot to hit the record button, I'm going to be honest. But you've got 4 rounds of Swiss, the top 8 game coming next, and then the final, which we'll put into the playlist once it has been put up, is going to be by the White Walkers channel. So do go and check that out. So we have an intrigue coming in from... So this indicates to me we're about to wildfire. No other reason for me to put balls. Stop the unopposed. He's going to ambush in the City Watch. That might... I wouldn't say it's going to be a mistake, because he would have lost the opportunity anyway once, wildfire came in, so they were going to go anyway. Or would they? Might he keep the City Watch up? So, I'm about to say, I think Randall's about to die. Renly's about to die. She's going to trigger Marge. And I think he might keep the City Watch just to be a big body. No, he's going to kill the City Watch. Fair enough. That's what it talks about earlier with the I think maybe in this game or the last game, that wildfire packs. That's not who I was expecting at all. So we still have the reaction that someone could jump out from the Queen of Thorns. So maybe the characters I was expecting are going to be in there, which would be Knight of Flowers. Is he going to jump anyone in with her? No, he's not jumping in. Oh, is he? And we've got Tears of Lys on Rob. Oh, this is a brutal turn. It's an absolutely brutal turn. Still surprised no Queen of Thorns trigger, though. Could have got another character out there. Oh, actually saying that, that's actually not that... Now I think about it, that's actually not that great. Because James Parsons challenges again. Why is he not going after these power challenges? Because obviously Sir Barristan can just be knelt and then he stands and says Bob. So that's actually not... It isn't actually going to be that. I don't think it's actually going to get through. So Cam just doing some maths. So he's going to do a power challenge. This is a power challenge for 5, 11, 12, 13 currently. 14, 15 currently. Can be defended for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 13, 14. But that again would nil someone. I think this one's fairly safe. I think this is patch. I might be tempted to just go. Oh, she's saying that. This is military. Again, problem with the ears. Military, because he can win the military, he can intimidate someone, and then can probably get unopposed power. You're assuming Randall standing there, aren't you? Cindy Randall's going to defend 4-8. Again, he's using the Rennie's Pavilion. I think he's just not seeing the maths right here. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, they didn't. It doesn't seem. I didn't get why he's using Rennie's Pavilion like that. So you get 2 lots of renowned. It's gonna, and there's the Nightmares and Sir Barristan, so he can't. Oh, can he save Bob? I think that's what they're discussing. Which one wears off first? And I'm quickly getting up my app to have a look to see which one that one is, because so Nightmares is until the end of the phase, and Tears at the end of the phase. So I believe it's WA, isn't it? So which one? Trying to remember which way around it is. When is it? When until at? I guess we might find out in a second when we see what characters come off the board. So it does look like, yes, that obviously Tears goes afterwards, going by the way that they have interrupts until the end. Yes, at. Yes, so interrupts of the end of the phase may begin until the end of the phase, lasting, and then at the end of the phase. Okay. So yes, so unfortunately there that Nightmares play didn't work. So Barristan stands to save Rob from the Tears of Lys. And Callum gets Dom and takes another power off. Assume he's drawn 2 cards for winning a power challenge. Yeah, yes, he has. Nope. Oh, did he forget the red keep? Yeah, it's something I tend to get wrong on the timing windows. So we're on to the 5th plot here, and it's currently 10-3, unfortunately, here to Callum. I think that last turn, James really could put some hurt down and just made one too many mistakes. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to sound harsh. It's it's one thing. It's so hard when you're playing on the table, and I just bring my insight to the game, and I'm not. I don't claim to be the greatest player in the world, but this is just how I just look at the game, how I would play it out, and I just think unfortunately there's one too many mistakes there, like the Rennie's Pavilion for no reason. I think if James had tried, he could have got a power challenge through, and that could have really swung the game. Bob gets a dupe. Oh. Is that it? Callum got again? It's got. If he's can't put anything else out, his draw just seems to be awful here. Oh no, we have got something else. I've got another dupe on Crescent. Oh, that's not what you want to be seeing. And a milk on Randall. Now that is a card he wanted to see. I'm semi-surprised with excitement that didn't get thrown down there. I think that is... he's leaving himself completely exposed on intrigue here. There's nothing he can do about that. But I just think he has to go for it. I don't think it's going to matter too much here, because if he can win a power challenge... And now there's... We can win a power challenge here. Kneel out probably the Queen of Thorns. Just forget military exists because you don't want to be able to trigger, get rid of another character with what's his chops? Packs. A deep on Randall. A deep on March. I'd say setting up for that Valor, but that boat seems to have sailed for me. Now that all the deeps are on the other side. We have a crown of golden roses that James was trying to put on Marge, but unfortunately that's a no-brainer. Lord only. Now, Triple Knight doesn't have to be a Tyrell Lord, just has to be a Lord. Okay. So we have... I'm assuming this is a military. Which goes unopposed, and Pax is killed, triggering Marge. Renowned on Sir Barristan. And we've got what's it? Man's Raider. And past there, so this looks like a big intrigue challenge. I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't know quite why he went so big, so in on the intrigue there. I guess he may have been worried about Nars of the Fury, but I don't think Callum has any cards in hand, does he? We have Varys' Riddleborn to play to you. I'm guessing I bring back Renly, sorry. And is he Renly's brought back to life? So James can draw a card. I think where did he go so all in? He's still got an action window. You can still potentially trigger. No, can't. No, missed the Queen of Thorns. 2 lots around. So James now up to. And the unopposed. You've got the unopposed. You have to say that's mandatory. So James up to 6 power. You're going to try and tears Elisa Barristan. I'm assuming that is to get rid of the dupe so that when he valors in a minute, he can't save. And again, a pass. So the red keep draws 2 cards. So Barristan is killed. You get 1 for Dom. You get 1 for the painted table. So now Callum's up to 14 power, but potentially, I think well, that signals to me there has to be a Valor now to kill Sir Barristan. Indeed, Valor into Wildfire. Which I think is actually the correct play here from Callum, because now if you trigger Wildfire first, you have to go first, trigger Wildfire first. You can't then use Marge's trigger, because you bring someone into play, they immediately die. But guess actually saying that, you just then use it on the Valor anyway. So that's a big setback there. So resetting boards down to 5 and 5 power for James and 10 power for Callum. So Barristan should have left the table. Why is Barristan not left the table? Have I missed? Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, Callum's realised Sebastian should have left the table. And we have another Renly brought into play after the close call, brought him back to life. But now with that milk, Callum I think is in better shape. Oh, so he actually let James go first. Interesting. Oh, no, sorry. James is picking James is getting his gold. I was right. So what does Callum do here? Oh no, he has let James go first. Wow, that's interesting. So we have Garden Caretaker and Butterbumps brought into play. Again, Callum's just lacking his intrigue icon, so he's just struggling to defend from this range trigger. Crown of Golden Roses onto Renly. And so James going to sit. Yep, James going to sit on 2 gold. Callum nails both Great Halls. Just checking his dead pile. Always a good sign. And we have Moonboy put into play. Now that's interesting because I did see an Edric Dane in hand. I'm sure Edric Storm. Sorry, I'm sure Edric Storm's not dead. It's interesting. Why would he sit on 4 gold? Oh, City Watch. That'd be why you sit on 4 gold, isn't it? City Watch. And indeed, yep, there you go. There's the City Watch. Get another big body on the board. Rain's been triggered again. Filthy accusations, assumedly on Bob. Yep. And then unopposed power, claim, claims and nightmares. That's your first insight. The second insight. Neither of them obviously loyal. I'm going to guess this is a power challenge. So currently power for 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 with Rennie's Pavilion. Callum can defend for 13, so more than he can actually defend for. So yep, defend with Mr. Crayson. Are we going to see a Lord Rennie's Ride? I imagine with where it probably would have been on the intrigue. Red Keeper's knelt. Technically, it's not knelt, but it's ongoing effects. But it's just easy to remember. Callum trying to add a power, not take away a power. We have Renowned and Claim. James forgot Renowned on Renly, so he should currently be on 8, but he's only on 7. Callum's on 9, I believe. Yes, he is. So he's got power coming back with Moon Boy. Which is going to be unopposed, claim, and insight. And I'm going to guess an unopposed military here. Yes, indeed, an unopposed military. And that's going to be unopposed. I think James overextended himself a little bit here. Not being able to stop these unopposed challenges coming back. Going to kill the garden caretaker. Presumably, I guess he's starting to think he's killed too many. There's not that many lords and ladies to come back out. Lords, sorry, to come out yet, or lords kings. So that's Dom and the painted table. And it comes back up to 14 power. Well, he ended the turn, so that 4 power he lost from Selmy, he's managed to get back. And we're on to the last plot, and we have Noble Cause into confiscation, so James is going to get rid of the milk. I think James here has to go second. And you might think, he can just go in and win a quick challenge, but I think with all the strength buffs he's got, he'd be better off going second, trying to win out from there rather than potentially leaving himself open. So indeed, yep, he's made Callum go first. Callum gets just 5 gold. Are we going to see Mel or Stannis? We have a Rose Road. It's a loyal character. He doesn't need to spend the 2 gold because he's forgotten the fact he's played Noble Cause. We have a second milk on Renly, and you got got Mel out. This now. That should end the shenanigans. Actually, no, saying that, he can still get Reigns off. I just can't think of what he'd get now. So we've played Power Behind the Throne. We've played Filthy Accusations. We've played sorry, I do apologise. We've played just really, what's it left? Wills Within Wills, I think, was legal here, but I think no, it wasn't legal. Game of Thrones isn't going to help. Noble Forgotten Plans isn't going to help. Oh, the ultimate one, of course. pulling the strings, but I can't figure out if he's going to play that's actually that useful. So just checking there, Varus. I'm guessing Callum might as well just put his hands up and go on then. You've got the only way that James can win here is by either stopping Callum getting Dom, which I don't think he can do at the moment, or by taking 2 power off him, which again I don't think he can physically do. So Callum's just standing back going, come on then. If it was me, I would put butter bumps. No, I think it's just too much of an overcommit. I would just do butter bumps and render, and I think that's the big thing. If James, you do watch this game back, you just too many overcommits into these challenges. You just don't need to. You just need to win the challenge. You don't need to worry about. And he's forgotten. I think he's forgotten the renowned again. So lady in waiting is loyal. I think Cam's just there pointing at the table going, yeah, you need to get 2 power off me or you lose anyway. I think that Milk and Renly was probably going to be crucial right now. So I think they're just talking through it. And there we go. Yes, I think James has conceded, but well played by both players there. Good game. That was a good close game, which we'd like to see. And come back for next time where we have the semi-final. And until then, guys, it has been emotional.